Hey there, hi there, ho there, friends. It's your old pal Michael, and I'm here with my beautiful wife Megan.
Hello.
We just got back from a week-long trip to Florida, to Orlando, to Walt Disney World, where I went for a work conference, and I brought Megan along with me. While we were there, I got to do a resort tour and check out four of the 30 plus resorts that are in the bubble. And Megan got to spend some time doing solo traveling. So we wanted to kind of talk about our adventure this weekend and some of the things we learned. So we stayed this weekend at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside, which is a phenomenal moderate hotel. Disney classifies their hotels in three categories: value, moderate, and deluxe. This is a moderate, meaning that it's just a step above their value, which their value is still very nice hotels as well.
Yeah.
Just I think it's not the theming that's a little bit more, but it's just the ambiance is a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
Funny story. So I was just watching a TikTok and a woman said that her mom joins the Facebook group for their resort. And I didn't even know that was a thing. So I kind of wish that I had done that since I had like the time to myself. But she said that you can tell the difference between the value and the moderate resorts by the things that people ditch when they're going home. So, somewhere like Pop Century, they're saying, hey, we got a case of Capri Suns and a bottle of wine outside of door, whatever. And then people will go grab that stuff that are just starting their stay, which is hilarious. And I've never heard of that before. But that absolutely did not happen at Riverside. At least I didn't see anything, ditched behind. But not that that's, one of the only ways to determine like what caliber of hotel you're staying at. But I definitely think that the moderate are a little bit more upscale, I guess you might say.
Without being pricing yourself out.
Yeah.
Like the high-end hotels are fantastic. And I went on my site inspections on the tours I got to do. I went to the Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, the Boardwalk. Those are some really nice hotels where they also have what they call their DVC programs in those three hotels, which is their timeshare program. So they are able to really spruce up the place to make it really nice. But let's talk about our trip. I had a great time. It was the first time we had been to Walt Disney World kidless.
Yeah.
I got to spend a lot of time with my travel agency. So Megan got to go spend a lot of time by herself. How was that?
I really enjoyed it, actually. I mean, I didn't ride a ride that I didn't want to ride. And, I had a churro when I wanted a churro. And I didn't really have to take anyone else's desires into account, which is so crazy to think because with, especially all three of the girls, they all have different, like, wants out of a Disney trip. And so, managing that as a party of five is kind of hard. It's a lot of work on the parents. And so it was the easiest Disney trip I've ever done.
That's awesome. Yeah, we spent a day together at the Magic Kingdom, and that was just great. I think we rode every ride we wanted to ride, some of them twice.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to ride the Jungle Cruise, but
yeah, that was
we weren't going to wait in the no shaded queue part of it for too long. And that was like an hour wait. And then we didn't even try to ride Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah. That's 45 minutes from open to close. It's always just a long wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
again, that's something that we would have prioritized if we had the kids. But because it was just us, we're like, oh, we're fine.
Yeah.
Let's go wait in line for Pirates for an hour instead. Oh, no. What do we wait?
Peter Pan. That was like 60 minutes exactly.
Yeah.
But we did utilize Genie Plus. And that was the first time that we got to use Genie Plus at Walt Disney World. We've used it at Disneyland. But I thought it was fantastic. I mean, the only ride that we waited more than 5 minutes, I think, maybe, was Peter Pan.
I'm like trying to think of a long line that we waited in. We might have waited 10 for Haunted Mansion, but that's kind of because you like go through the queue, kind of. Yeah, most of them I would say, I don't think we waited more than 15 for anything.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It's $25 extra on top of the ticket price that's already there.
Well, it's a range because the day that I went to Epcot, it was only 18.
Okay, that's
so
pretty
it just
cool.
depends on how busy they guess the parks are going to be and which park you're going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was totally worth it, especially on the days that I was by myself. On Monday, I went to Hollywood Studios. But on Tuesday, I went to Epcot, and Michael and I met up at Epcot in the evening time. But I knew that we were going to be there till park close, which, was only 9, so it wasn't super late. But I didn't want to go right at park open at like 8 or 9 or whatever it was to be there all day. So I woke up in the morning and got my Genie Plus and bought my first ride or selected my first ride. And then I went back to sleep. And then I didn't go in until the afternoon, and I kind of had like a stash of rides waiting for me when I got in.
What do you call that when you get them? What were you calling it?
I was stacking them.
Stacking,
I don't know.
yeah, stacking.
Yeah, I texted him. I said my afternoon is stacked because I think what it is once you scan in to get a ride, scan into a ride that you've selected on Genie Plus, then you get a new one. But if your fast pass that you've chosen is like several hours away, they still want to give you like the best opportunity to like make that Genie Plus purchase like worth it. So every 2 hours starting at park open, you get to get a new Genie Plus. So I just selected the furthest away very first Genie Plus at 7, and then 2 hours after park open, I just go in and I select another one that's far, into the evening, so that when I got there, I had like 3 that I got to ride at like 1, 2, and 3. Like it really made it so easy once I got into the park because I had already done the work for myself, like lounging in the hotel room. Yeah. And that was so nice.
And you did the same thing at Hollywood Studios, right?
Well, at Hollywood Studios, I rope dropped the park because it was very important to ride Slinky Dog. And I don't remember if that's a Genie Plus ride or not. I don't think it was. I don't know if it isn't generally, but for that day, for whatever reason, it wasn't on Genie Plus. And that's Natalie's favorite ride, so I had to ride it for her, she said. So I had to rope drop that ride. But everything else I stacked for like noon, and then I had like 3 rides.
Yeah, she sent me a text message of a screenshot where like in an hour and a half she had 3 top rides. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam.
And Michael's like, those are all across the park. And I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry. I was just so carefree by myself. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. Like it was just so easy. And I did make it to all of my lightning lanes. I think it was my last one, I think, was Mickey and Minnie. And then I had Tower of Terror. What was the other one that I was waiting on?
Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I had 3 things to do in the course of like an hour and a half, and I nailed it, honestly. And I was pretty much done with the park with everything that I like really wanted to do by like 3:00. So then I left and met you for dinner. And well, first I went on the Skyliner because the very first time that I went to Disney World, it was just me, Michael, and Ailey, and we stayed at Art of Animation. And the Skyliner's on Art of Animation, but it didn't exist when we stayed there. And then last time we went, we had such a good experience at Caribbean Beach, and the Skyliner also goes there. So I left Hollywood Studios, went to Caribbean Beach, kind of looked around, took a couple pictures, got on the Skyliner, went to Art of Animation, got out, took a couple pictures, and then got back on and went home, basically. Went back to our Riverside. And so it was so nice to be able to like see all of that again.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. And if you've never stayed at any of these resorts, they're themed phenomenally. Mm-hmm. The resort that we were at, Port Orleans Riverside, is a Southern plantation, upscale New Orleans themed. Mm-hmm. And then the sister resort next to it is the Port Orleans
French Quarter. And
that looks more like, downtown New Orleans, very French inspired. It's the two next to each other really complement each other well.
Yeah.
But every single one of the resorts is just themed so immersively. It's magical when you walk in. And on my tour, I talked to we had one of the high ups take us on a tour with Disney, and she was talking about how Disney hotels are competing with the likes of Hilton, Marriott, and all these others who are coming into Orlando and building these really nice resort hotels. And the one thing that Disney has that's over them, that they feel that they can provide that's over them, is the implementation of their IP into the resorts. And they've done that. We went into their remodeled resorts rooms. At the Polynesian, they've integrated Moana into the rooms. At the Grand Californian, it's Mary Poppins. At the Contemporary Resort, it's The Incredibles. At the resort we were at, it was all about princesses, Princess Tiana, and all the princesses together.
But I don't know if all of the rooms were like that.
Yeah, they might not have all been like that. The room we were in happened to be like that.
It was like very, it was like the royalty something.
Yeah.
Or what was it called?
I don't think it was called the royalty suite, but it was something to that type of
but
name.
it was, our hotel room was really cool. We, it had like a picture, like a gallery wall of all the princesses. Not all of them, but I guess
most of them.
I guess who do you consider princesses? We could argue that, but and then Tiana was like the primary, like the largest picture princess in there, and then it had kind of like the silhouette faces of all the princes, but then it had touches of like Aladdin's like the magic carpet and the genie's lamp and
tell them about the genie lamp.
Yeah, the genie's lamp was the faucet in the bathrooms. It was so cool, just like such a cool touch.
Yeah,
and little like jewels everywhere, like in the light fixtures and stuff. It was really, really cool. The girls would have loved it. And our justification for choosing this room, even though it's absolutely something they would have loved, is the room that we chose does not fit 5. Mm-hmm. So there's just no way that we could have had that room if we were all going together. So we're like, well, we want to experience it once, and if we can't do it all together, then I guess just us, we might as well. But it was a nice sized room, 2 queen beds, but there's just no way, there's not like a 5th sleeper or anything in that particular room. There are rooms like that in the resort, but just not our room specifically.
Right. Now, if you would like to experience Walt Disney World, my name is Michael Salazar. I'm a travel agent with Travelmation Travel, and I would love to be able to get you and your family to experience the magic that our family has experienced. You can reach out to me at travelmationmichael.com, and I'll put together a comprehensive quote free of charge for you to take your family to Walt Disney World. That's not a free vacation. That's a free quote. But I will definitely get you set up for that. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We're going to come back again here in the next week or so and maybe get a little more detail on the Genie Plus and how to do that a little bit better, because this girl over here, she's got it dialed down. So thank you so much, my friends. Well, let's get out there.